This is the 30 Days to Sell Cars podcast. In this episode, we're talking about the third mental shift required to build a customer acquisition machine, which is system thinking. If you want to continue to learn how to build a customer attraction system that will consistently and predictably turn total strangers into car buyers, you're not going to want to miss this new episode of my podcast. Hi, my name is Sean Cassy, and this week, as I just mentioned, we are continuing on our quest to help you build a customer acquisition machine with the final installment of our trilogy, reviewing the 3 mindset shifts required to build an automotive customer acquisition machine. In this third episode of the 3-part series, I want to look at the third mental shift, which is to develop systems thinking. If you haven't yet listened to part 1 or part 2, I highly recommend that you do it now so you have all the foundational elements in the right chronological order. This third mental mindset shift will make more sense if you review the 2 previous episodes. The third mental shift, systems thinking. The third mental shift required to help you build your customer acquisition system is to shift your mindset from one that is chasing bigger and better components for a mindset where you become obsessed with the overall system. To help you make that shift, let me introduce you to what's called systems theory. Think for a moment about all the systems around or even in you, like the solar system, the respiratory system, political systems, digestive system, mathematical systems, muscular systems, accounting system, nervous system, computer system, the reproductive systems, and the cardiovascular systems. I think you get the picture. Each of these systems works predictably and consistently toward a precise goal using a minimum of efforts or resources. The solar system, for example, is so precise and predictable that you can launch a rocket from the Earth towards another planet and precisely predict where it will land in a few months or even years. Every day you breathe, move, turn food into energy, and pump blood throughout your whole body to feed it without very little cognitive thinking. Systems work, and once set in motion, they're really hard to stop. Just try holding your breath for a few minutes, and you'll see how powerful your respiratory system is. It'll even knock you unconscious if it has to so it can keep working. Now imagine if you could build a customer acquisition system that would work in the same way. A system that would predictably and consistently help you turn total strangers around your dealership into paying customers and raving fans with minimal efforts. A system that would continue to run and produce results even when outside factors inevitably influence the whole or its components. This is the mental shift you need to make when you think of your customer acquisition efforts. Let me give you an example. Let's say you were running Facebook ads and you changed your targeting and were able to double the number of leads from what you were getting. Is that a good thing? Well, looking at this single step in the customer acquisition funnel, well, it looks like a win. But if the change in targeting started to generate leads from the wrong prospects, people who don't have the means or the credit to buy a vehicle from you or your dealership, for example, all you're doing is spending more money to attract prospects who will clog your sales pipeline. These additional wrong leads will suck out the time and resources from your BDC and your salespeople, leaving you with less budget to reach the right prospects and less time to convert real deals. That's why you must shift from thinking of your customer acquisition efforts as individual components and start thinking about it as a whole. Now let me ask you, have you identified who is your ideal customer and defined the perfect buyer personas for your dealership so you know precisely who to target when you create ads so you pay to attract only the right customers? Could you tell me today what is your cost per lead, your cost per appointment, your cost per deal, and the lifetime value of each customer for each traffic source or tactic you are running? Do you have a process to identify, tag or score, leads from different traffic sources so you can provide them with a unique and different follow-up experience? Do you have a lead nurturing system to farm and recycle leads from prospects who are not ready to buy so that you can sell them a vehicle in a few months when they are ready or they meet certain conditions? Now, don't feel bad if you don't have the answers to these poking questions. Most dealers and automotive sales professionals I speak to are in the same position. They are so involved in the everyday work required to sell some cars that they fail to visualize how the individual components of the client attraction, sales process, and lead nurturing experience work together as a homogeneous system. And honestly, unless you have a roadmap or a blueprint to guide you, it's easy to get stuck optimizing individual components at the detriment of working on unifying the machine as a whole. This is why you must make this third and final mental shift and develop a systems thinking mindset obsessed with the throughput of your customer acquisition pipeline. Can you see now how shifting your focus from perfecting individual components to optimizing the system as a whole can help you sell more cars to more customers way more efficiently? If you see the light regarding this third mental mindset shift and are interested in making a change and start building your own customer acquisition machine while listening to Season 2, you'll be happy to learn that I've decided to create a program where you now have the ability to work with me and my team to build your own customer acquisition machine, one that will predictably and consistently, two very important words, turn total strangers into paying customers and, even more importantly, raving fans. Imagine having not only the blueprint for building your machine, but access to in-depth knowledge about every stages, access to the same technology I use, access to the same copywriters to write your scripts, access to the same video editors to produce your content, and access to the same toolbox of tactics to experiment within your system. Imagine having access to like-minded individuals from the car business who are also building and tweaking their own customer acquisition machine. Imagine being able to ask them questions and compare your metrics with theirs so you can see if and where there is room for improvement. No more guessing, no more trying to figure it out, but only black and white answers to every questions you might have while putting your customer acquisition machine and tweaking it to perfection. If you would like to have a conversation with me to see if this program might be something you would like to explore, and if you would be a good fit for the program, I invite you to schedule a strategy call. Just use the links I will put in the show's notes. Well, I hope you enjoyed this final episode of our 3-part series launching season number 2, and that you will be back for more great automotive content to help you build your customer acquisition machine. If you did, well, make sure to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify so you don't miss the rest of season 2 and all the content I will be sharing to provide you with the blueprint of your customer attraction machine. Make sure to also leave me a few comments on the content I shared with you today. I'm curious to get your feedback and most of all your success stories. In the next episode, I will provide you with an overview of the 12 steps of the customer acquisition formula. We will be reviewing together the stages and action steps required to make all the components work as a system that will predictably and consistently, again, help you turn total strangers into paying customers. If you're tired of cold calling, waiting for ups, chasing tactics, and waiting for the right incentives so you can sell more cars, you're not going to want to miss our next show. Until then, I wish you a great week. Remember that we only have 30 days to sell cars when the month starts, and we probably have less than that if you look at your calendar right now. So like I love to say, let's sell some cars.